I first met Sun Wukong in the most unlikely of places, the restless, churning waters of the Eastern Sea. Deep within the cavernous halls of the Dragon King's palace, the Monkey King, as he would come to be known, was unlike any creature I had ever seen. Even in my long years of witnessing the peculiarities of gods, demons, and mortals alike. He was a creature of boundless energy and insatiable curiosity, a monkey born from a stone on the mountain of flowers and fruit. His eyes sparkled with the mischief of 1,000 pranks and the brilliance of untamed ambition. He was a king without a kingdom, a creature with the heart of a warrior and the spirit of a trickster. But above all, Sun Wukong was a creature who would not be bound. In the Dragon King's palace, Sun Wukong demanded a weapon befitting his stature. He rummaged through treasures, tossing aside ornate swords and heavy maces with a dismissive flick of his wrist. And then, in a moment that still echoes in my mind, he laid his hands on the Ruyi Jingu Bang, the magical staff that could change size at will and weigh as much as mountains. With a grin that revealed his sharp teeth and sharper wit, he shrunk the massive staff to the size of a needle and tucked it behind his ear, a trophy that signified his audacity. From that moment, it was clear that Sun Wukong was no ordinary monkey. But Sun Wukong's journey was not one of mere rebellion. It was a journey of defiance against the very order of heaven and earth. He leapt from the Dragon King's palace to the celestial heavens, demanding recognition among the gods. And when the Jade Emperor offered him a lowly post as the keeper of heavenly horses, it was an insult that Sun Wukong could not abide. In his fury, he proclaimed himself the great sage equal to heaven and carved those very words into the walls of his new lair. The heavens were in an uproar. Armies of celestial warriors descended upon the flower fruit mountain, intent on subduing the upstart Monkey King. But Sun Wukong, with his shape-shifting tricks and invincible staff, dispatched them with ease, laughing all the while. He outwitted the greatest generals and sent the fiercest demons scurrying back to their holes. Even the fearsome Erlang Shen, the god with a third eye that sees through all disguises, found Sun Wukong a formidable foe. But the Monkey King was not invincible. He was captured, chained, and thrown into the crucible of Laozi's alchemical furnace, a pit of fire intended to burn away his defiance. For 49 days, the flames licked at his body, and the smoke choked his lungs. Yet, when the furnace doors opened, it was not a defeated monkey who emerged, but one with eyes that burned with the brilliance of gold and fire. He had survived the unbearable heat and emerged stronger, his spirit unquenched and his fury doubled. And so, he rampaged through the heavens, kicking over cauldrons and shattering palaces. It seemed that no one could tame the Monkey King, not even the mightiest of gods. But then, in the face of Sun Wukong's unbridled chaos, the Buddha himself intervened. With a calmness that belied the enormity of his power, the Buddha challenged Sun Wukong to a simple bet. If the Monkey King could leap from his palm, he would concede defeat. Sun Wukong, ever confident, agreed. He soared across the skies, far beyond the edges of the world, to the very pillars that held up the heavens themselves. He marked his triumph on a pillar with a flourish of graffiti, declaring his victory. But when he returned, the Buddha simply smiled. Sun Wukong's eyes widened in disbelief as he realized that he had never left the Buddha's palm. The pillars he had seen were but the Buddha's fingers, and his mark of triumph was now etched upon the Buddha's hand. Defeated, Sun Wukong was sealed beneath a mountain, imprisoned for 500 years, a stone monument to his hubris. It seemed that his tale would end in silence, a cautionary legend of ambition turned to folly. But fate had other plans for the Monkey King. His story was not to be one of endless rebellion, but of redemption and growth. When the monk Tang Sanzeng arrived, tasked with retrieving sacred scriptures from the West, it was Sun Wukong who was chosen as his protector. Freed from his mountain prison, Sun Wukong took up the mantle of disciple, a role that would challenge him in ways that no battle ever had. No longer could he rely solely on strength or cunning. On this journey, he would learn the value of patience, humility, and restraint. The path to the west was fraught with demons, traps, and trials. But for the first time, Sun Wukong's might was tempered by purpose. With each step, he moved closer to the redemption that had eluded him in his years of defiance. Through battles with demons and skirmishes with celestial beings, Sun Wukong's loyalty to Tang Sanzeng grew. He fought not just for glory, but to protect his companions and to fulfill a mission that was greater than himself. And in this journey, the great sage equal to heaven found his true place, not as a conqueror of heaven, but as a guardian of what was right and just. In the end, Sun Wukong's greatest victory was not over the gods or demons, but over the untamed spirit within himself. His story is not just one of rebellion and strength, but of transformation a reminder that even the wildest of spirits can find their way when guided by purpose and compassion. And so, the legend of Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, lies on a tale of a stone-born rebel who sought the heavens, was humbled by the Buddha, and redeemed by the journey to the West.